Hello, my beautiful people. It's Comaster, and today we're going to be talking on how to do UKG slash kind of breakbeat style drum beat patterns. I was going to do this a while ago, but I didn't have a mic stand, and I had to restring my shock mount, which isn't that hard, but it's really fiddly, and I've been really busy, so I didn't get around to doing it. But we're here now, we're all sorted, so let's get into it. First of all, what I suggest is having a music template. This is just like a really good basis to any start of a production. Means you can just jump straight into it, and you've got your MIDI channels loaded in. You're all bust up. So like you've got your I've got my sound effects channel, my leads, and my drums. Yours might be different depending on your production workflow, but it just means you can just dive straight in. And talking of diving straight in, let me stop talking and get into it. So with UK Garage, I find, and I'm interested in what other people will say, but the drums usually sound relatively acoustic. I do have my own UKG kind of drum racks, but for the purpose of like actually doing this together, I'll show you kind of what I'm listening out for. So in the drum rack, what we want is about 8 bars. So what I've just gone here is the length. Put in 8, because you kind of want 2 variations within the drum beat to create it. Sorry, that was like a hybrid of create and keep. Create something and keep it entertaining and new to the ear. So we're gonna have like 2 variations. So the first thing we're listening for is kick. We're gonna just start off with the kick, snare, and hi-hats, and then we're gonna build from there. So I'm looking for something kind of acousticy, pretty fast attack, not much of a decay. It wants to be punchy to make room for the bass. All of these, I'm going to skip these because they're all quite muddy. And this is half of the time you'll spend when producing, is just going through sounds. So, dum dum. See, that's kind of similar to what I'm looking for, but it's like it's a bit too thuddy. I'm just going to skip where it says drum kicks because these are all just like a bit too heavy. The acoustic ones are usually quite good. Okay, actually, what I'm going to do... Oh, hello. Which one was that? Okay, Alien Spawn. We're just going to go with that because it's got the similar thing of what I'm looking for. I don't know what these are. I must have accidentally saved something into it. Okay, this is going to just... We'll use this to start. So we got a kick. And then we want our hi-hats. These want to be quite bright. That sounds nice. Snare wants again to be kind of like snare across the rim. Let's skip all these. Nice. See? Kind of that rim type vibe. So we're going to drag these into... so if you're completely new as well, you just drag the sample in and it will load it up into its allocated slots. So... Okay, right. And now let's get to just creating that basic UKG drum beat. So with the hi-hats, you want it to be on the one and. So we're going to put this in every one and. So one. So we're like one and. We want to be around the 132 BPM to 135. Let's go 134, just, compromise and split in the middle. So one and 2 and. So it wants to be on the and. We're pushing the beat along. So 1 and 2, 1 and 1 and 2 and. Yeah, 1 and 2 and. There we go. And we're just gonna have this going throughout the whole beat. So if you're wondering what I'm doing here, I'm just selecting the bar. Make sure you select from the end and the start, otherwise it'll end. They'll just paste it into a random position. So from the end to the start or the start to the end. I'm just dragging out. So now, okay, so we kind of got that push along, and then on the snare, just to give us reference, that's going to be on the 2 and the 4. So and what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to take away some of the decay of the snare because it wants to be more punchy. So let's have a listen to that. Oh, that's too short. I'm just going to. Okay. You can tell already, like, that just taking away the decay in the snare and that kind of like roomy after part is just, it makes it more punchy. And garage is all about having that punch through the mix, and you know, that's what really creates a groove. So snares is going to land on the 2 and the 4 for now, but we can change that as we go. Okay, you already see where this is going. Now what we want is our kick. So now we've kind of got the main basis and it's laying down the tempo. You've got your snare on the 2 and the 4 that's keeping the track in beat and it's making it easy for the DJ or whatever you're doing to beat match it. Excuse me. A bit of ASMR for anyone who's interested. That's on my OnlyFans. We're going to lay down the kick. So on the kick, if you're following along, just to kind of keep up with me. And don't worry about why I'm doing what I'm doing. It will make sense when you hear it. So usually with the kick, I like to have a kick on the 1 just to start with. So we're like announcing that, okay, this is the start of the bar. And I'll do the same thing I did with the rim actually and just take away some of the attack on that. It's very muddy, this kick. It's a bit too sharp now. You know what, I'm just going to change this kick altogether because I don't like it. You know what, fuck it. I think every producer gets to that point. Fuck it. Bring up splice. Oh, we're offline. Sorry, this is incredibly boring as well. This is new to me, doing all this stuff, so I haven't really come in with a plan. Oh, and my internet's rubbish because I'm at the top of the house, so it looks like we're not doing that. I mean, that says selector, so, you know. Okay, fuck it. Whoa. Oh. That'll do. Okay. And if you wonder what I just did there, similar to what I've done with the sample mode, but this is on multi-sample, so I'm just taking the end off the kick. Not a very nice kick, but we can fuck around with that later. So on the 1, and we're just going to kind of fill in the gaps. So I'm looking for a dum ka to dum ka. So let's make it. Yeah. Yeah, so what I'm doing is like, I'm not even doing anything particularly technical here. I'm just moving the kick around, seeing where it lands and seeing what sounds cool. Remember to leave space as well, because that creates the swing as well. Space is one of the most important parts of music, because it keeps the listener anticipating when it's going to land again. You want that resolve, so space. Where is it? There it is. See? Sweet. Let's just fucking change this kick. I want to find a kick I'm happy with and then I can just stick with it. These are all so shit. Kick garage. I mean, considering it's called garage, it sounds awful. Alright, acoustic. It's getting on my nerves now. Let's see if Splice wants to work with my internet for a change. Kick. Oh. we? Garage. Does anyone know how to like remove certain genres and splice? Because I don't ever want a fucking EDM kick. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Something like that. Hey? That's better. Right. Now, that's okay, but it's very flat. There's no swing. There's no kind of like bounce. It's just straight down the middle. So this is where garage kind of changes from breakbeat, so to speak, to garage. Breakbeat is very more of like a double down. Boom, 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 boom. Whereas garage is way more swung. It's you know, it's kind of hard to. It's been a long day. Right. Okay. So we need swing. So how are we going to add that? What we're going to do is we're going to go to packs, and we want to go to our core library, swing and groove, and we're going to be using the MPC swings. And if you listen, it's showing you how syncopated it is and how swung it is. That one's, you know, pretty extreme. We want that bounce, you know, like. So we're going to be relatively extreme. 67 sounds good. Compromise. So how do we apply that swing? So you double click on it, and now what you're going to have in your left hand corner here. So say if you've accidentally clipped off, all you want to do is click on the clip in groove. You're going to have your groove pool, and it's all the ones you clicked on selected. I want 67. What that's going to do is it's going to add swing to it. So let's have a listen to the difference. Now listen about it. How much more? It's just more interesting. And it's a very subtle difference, but a major one. So now we've added a swing, we're going to do some like little dynamic variations. So with these double kicks, we're going to have like a, you know, like you want it to sound relatively realistic, like a drummer's playing it. So your drummer's not always going to hit the same velocity of each note and the exact same power. There's going to be little, you know, ghost notes, etc. So we're going to add them in. So all I'm doing is highlighting Control on Windows, and I'm not too sure about Mac, but you know, the Control key on a Mac, and highlight, drag. You'll see this line, and you can cut. So once you've done that, hold down the mouse key and Control, and then when you've made a cut, let go, and it'll slice that. I'm gonna do the same with these two here. Do a little slice. So this one, see, it has that kind of like ghost lead note. So do. So that with the swing adds like real feel. And now we've got the basics. This is where you kind of add in the sparkle, etc. So we're going to start having some like rides and crashes. So cymbals, 909s, always really good, but you want to cut that so it has this like real punch. Yeah, there we go. So at the start of the bar, take that down a little bit. And that has that like real, you know, it kind of pronounce it like, yo, we're here. This is the start of the beat. You can put it slightly offbeat as well. So I usually just put that on the one for each part. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, and it just adds to the vibe. I'll roll down the volume as well because it can be a bit overbearing. So on all of these, I'm just gonna cut so the volume's sweet. What else can we add? So we've got our hi-hats. Now we can have a kind of more smaller closed hi-hat to create that movement and push it long. So so let's get some of them. Oh, so we want something like very sparkly and closed. Nice. 606 is always good. Drag that in. And we're going to do, it's going to be, and it wants to be filling up every single note of that bar. So, similar to the drum beats, we want velocity though. So if you're like, you know, playing on the hi-hats, again, it's not going to be the same velocity each time. Drummer's not going to hit exactly the same volume each time. There's going to be, you know, differences in the power. So we're going to drag and chop. And then we're going to put that into each note of the bar. And what I'm doing here is just highlighting and Control D for duplicate. And we're going to turn the hats down as well. So just going to do this drop down bar here, and you can see each individual element. Okay. And it's creating that swing now. So the sound selection is a bit questionable, but this is just because I'm doing it to show you what's going on. So you can pick whatever sound you want. And then it is just literally, you've got your basis, and it's a case of just fucking around and throwing random bits in. So, you know, yeah, put in some perks, some stuff like this. I'm just going to show you. So I'm just going to drop in random stuff. Stuff being the musical term for it. Because I want to show you, like, once you've got all this in, the basics with Garage are the most important, and then you can just put stuff around it. It's the same as anything. You want the foundations, and then you're plain sailing. So just some perks and stuff now. Yeah, so like just little things we're throwing off beat. You want these elements to be on the ands as well, so you don't want them landing on the kicks or the snares. You want them to be like landing off, so it pushes the beat along. And now this may sound strange out of context, so let's just load up like a piano, so you can hear it. Loops, vocals.
Anything. Anything.
There we go. See? They're just like fucking wicked. You got that like kind of garage bounce. And I don't know how long this has been filming for. Please tell me it's been fucking filming. It has. Okay, so because I was bragging, but you know, this can take 5 minutes once you get quick at it. Obviously this is like an 18-minute video, but and then all you want to do there is to continue the bounce is create a ghost kick track. So you're just going to copy the drums, add in a kick with a similar kind of envelope. So it wants to have like a similar type of kick, etc. Fine. We're going to deactivate this, but it's still going to be playing. And what we're going to do is we're going to copy and paste that in. Label that ghost. And because this has got a ghost kick, so we're going to be sidechaining to this, but it's not going to be heard. Go to your audio effects, compressors, sidechain, ghost, and we're going to set the ratio to infinite because we want it to hit straight away. Noni, because it's going to be a hard sidechain. Okay, that's a little bit too hard. And then we're just going to set the threshold relatively low, so that it's cutting straight away, it's ducking in the kick, and it's going to create more of that bounce. And then all that's next, really, and then you've got like your beat, is to add in your bass. So what I like to use is operator. Let's turn on my MIDI. And what key are we in? Do you remember what key it said? Charlie? Comas? Charlie? Mysteries Unraveled? D minor. CD. It says D minor. But I'm not too I'll believe it, but I'm not too convinced. And then I like to add like a square. Obviously gonna sound really shit now. Let's lower the octave. Sorry. Yeah, square D is always good. Turn the frequency down to about 200 because we're working in the sub bass region, so we only need 200 and below. Sweet. And then we're just going to bounce around the chord. So we're in D minor. So we're just kind of like arpeggiate, create the bass line. I might be moving quite quick. This is my first tutorial, so apologise. I'm aware I'm moving quick, but this is just kind of like a cold cuts tutorial. I'm not going too much into depth, just so you understand slight basics. And then with Garage, we want the envelope to kind of have the attack wants to be a bit shorter, so it has that kind of like rising wood feel. The whoop whoop. Let's make that a little bit more pronounced. So you got that, you know. That kind of growing. And then let's just try the decay. It's a bit more punchy. Okay, fuck it. Let's record that. Sweet. And let's drop that an octave so it's in the and add that compressor on. So now you have your drum beat, you have your keys, and you have your kind of would-be sub bass. And then the next thing would be like obviously to add the EQs, but this is just the basics. Hopefully it's helpful at all. I know I've probably gone really quick, so if there's any questions, just nag me about it and let me know. But yeah, that was UKG kind of vibe in about 25 minutes. See ya.